What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. I hope you guys are doing well. It's been 3 months since the launch of MW3. That's right. 3 months ago, November 10th of 2023, we finally were welcomed into the world of Modern Warfare 3. The opportunity for Sledgehammer Games to right the wrong of Infinity Ward. And how did they do? This isn't so much of a review as it is a progress report. I want to go through and look back at what we were presented with Modern Warfare 3 at launch and compare it to what we have today. Let's talk about some of their wins, some of their triumphs, and some of their disappointing downfalls. So let's get into it right now. Now, of course, Modern Warfare 3 released their campaign a week early, and it was universally panned, and people did not like it. And rightfully so. The campaign feels empty, the story is very mid, and overall the open world missions that were meant to be this innovation just didn't work. They weren't the hype people expected them to be. And it was a major disappointment. So right from the get-go, November 10th rolls around, and Modern Warfare 3 already is leaving a sour taste in people's mouths. Not only did the campaign feel lackluster, the multiplayer feels like it's just a rehash of Modern Warfare 2, being labeled as Modern Warfare 2.5. Now, of course, the one major bright spot that Modern Warfare 3's launch had was MWZ, Modern Warfare Zombies. And yeah, Treyarch nailed it. They knocked it out of the park. And they deserve as much praise as they possibly can for that. They finally brought a solid third mode to a Modern Warfare game. It's only been, 6 entries and we finally got here? Good on Treyarch. Modern Warfare Zombies is a definite bright spot. But I can't say the same for the multiplayer. As when the multiplayer was released, it felt like the same old game that we played all of last year. Yes, there were some improvements, some enhancements, but overall, the game just felt like it did last year, just on maps that were created back in 2009 that didn't work with the current playstyle. It didn't work with the way the game flowed and played. This led to many people in the community feeling as if the game was stale right out of the box. It didn't have any true identity associated with it. It just felt like another generic Call of Duty game with them trying to throw nostalgia in to give you a bunch of member berries. And it didn't work. The overall experience was disappointing, lackluster, mid. And that's the last thing you want to be if you're Call of Duty in a spot that they were in, was release a mid product. But that's what we had with Modern Warfare 3 at launch. And frankly, it hasn't gotten that much better. I mean, there's been improvements made over time. But if I look at Modern Warfare 3 as a whole, it's still a very mid Call of Duty, being dragged down by bad decision making, being dragged down by the lack of action from Activision and Sledgehammer Games. From day one, there's been a myriad of problems and issues that have plagued Modern Warfare 3. We've covered them in depth. Cheaters, servers, matchmaking, connection, the game's feeling scripted. All of that was true. And then, of course, we also had that AI bot conspiracy theory, which was just crazy, but also awesome at the same time. All of that culminated to this community feeling lost, not really sure what to think about MW3. And I'll be honest with you, after playing this game for the last 3 months, covering it with a video every single day, I can tell you this. There are some major bright spots to this multiplayer. When things click with this game, when you get the right match, and you get the right SBMM, and you get the right connection, everything clicks and it feels like classic Call of Duty. It feels and plays the way Call of Duty should feel and play. But those moments are so few and far between that you do not feel that way very often. The overall feeling and the sentiment I have towards Modern Warfare 3 right now, 3 months into the game's life cycle, is inconsistent. That's not how a game that is making billions of dollars should feel or play. But that's where we're at. An inconsistent model that continues to let down its community at every single turn. Not only did we have problems with the Season 1 launch, where it reset people's stats, reset everyone's creator class, Then that led into them delaying ranked play for Season 1 Reloaded, breaking Warzone during Season 1 Reloaded, and led them to once again breaking the Battle Pass and Battle.net here for Season 2. It's unacceptable. And this is the track record of Call of Duty now. If I look back at where the game was 3 months ago, the biggest thing I can say in its favor is they brought in some high quality maps to the game. The game doesn't feel as stale anymore. The bad part is they've now decided to mix those new maps with maps from MW2. And I'm sorry, I know it's unpopular. I don't want to play mid maps from last year's game in this game. I just don't. I've played enough Mercado. I've played enough of the hotel map. I've played enough of those maps. I'm done with that. I hate Infinity Ward's map design. They're bad at it, and they should never be praised. At least here, Sledgehammer Games has some decently made maps that I'd like to play more often. And they still have all the original maps from Modern Warfare 2 in 2009. Stop just jam-packing this game with quantity. As we learned from Call of Duty Vanguard, quality beats quantity every single time. I want quality maps. I do not care how many there are, because it waters down the experience and makes me want to play less. And that's how Call of Duty feels 3 months after its initial release. It feels as if they have de-incentivized my willing to play the game. Whether it's through cheaters not being addressed, the matchmaking not being addressed, server problems, or quantity over quality, all of these things has led to me wanting to play the game less. It has been a major sore spot from day one, and none of it has improved. And because of that, you've led this community once again to wonder what else is out there. I mean, the fact that people are already looking forward to Call of Duty 2024 and Call of Duty 2025 should tell you something about the overall reception of MW3. It hasn't worked. And that's because the fundamental issues that plague this game have not been resolved since its launch. I mean, I even forgot to mention spawns, but that's another thing that just hasn't been addressed. And it was talked about during the beta. It was talked about early on in the game's life cycle. And nothing has changed. It hasn't gotten any better. In fact, I honestly think it's gotten worse. Again, I have to emphasize quality over quantity every single time. Throwing a bunch of things in does not make your game good. Adding a bunch of quality improvements makes your game better. I can't believe I've made it almost 8 minutes without mentioning the armory. Because those new armory challenges they introduced here in Modern Warfare 3 went over like a wet fart from day one. And even now, it's still just getting more bloat added to it. More attachments, more perks, more equipment. Why? Why do we have this? It is a bad system, has been a bad system, and they've made no improvements other than letting you earn armory credits or whatever they're called from winning games. That's literally the only improvement they made. They didn't try to get rid of it. They didn't try to modify it so you could just save your credits to buy the things you actually want. No, you have to go through the tedious process of looking through every single weapon's 97 different attachments for each attachment type and figuring out which ones you want to unlock. It's a tedious process. Simplicity wins over this. And unfortunately, what we've seen, lo and behold, Call of Duty loves to overcomplicate things for no reason whatsoever. They also love lying to their community. They also love not following through on promises, and that hasn't changed. So overall, from day one of Modern Warfare 3 to now 90 days into the game's life cycle, I don't think much has changed. There have been some improvements for sure. That needs to be stated. But overall, the game has not made the type of strides that you'd like to see with 3 months of data and feedback. The main issues that plagued the game on day one are still very present and haven't been addressed in a significant way. Matches still feel extremely scripted. Every single encounter seems scripted. It almost feels as if I'm battling a algorithm over an actual opponent. And this leads to the overall experience feeling, like I said earlier, inconsistent. That's all I can say 3 months into this game's life cycle, is it's plagued by inconsistencies. Now, hopefully, over the next 3 months, They start to get consistent in their communication, get consistent with their feedback, get consistent with what they're trying to present to this community. And they have to make some major improvements when it comes to things like the spawns and the servers and the connection and the matchmaking, and overall create a better, more welcoming space for players. Because right now, as it stands, it just isn't good enough. And that has been their MO for quite some time. Let's release subpar games and just hope that players will still spend money on it. And that's what they've been doing. So that's where we're at 3 months into this game's life cycle. It's a mid game that has a lot of things you can buy. The old quantity over quality thing. And that's what is biting Call of Duty in the behind right now, in my opinion. But those are my thoughts on this game 3 months into its life cycle. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in that comment section. Let me know what you think. Do you think that Modern Warfare 3 has improved over the 3 months? Do you think that it's fallen down over the last 3 months? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in that comment section. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.